Okay, I am in our study guide, day 6. I don't know if you can see that, but it's day 6, page 8 of 12. I'm going to begin with the math windows. Okay, and we're going to move it a little closer so everyone can see well. Okay, number 1, use long division to solve. Okay, you do not have to learn how to use long division to solve because you will have a calculator to solve problems like this, okay? Just make sure you know how to use the calculator. Practice your calculator. Should I do this one for practice? I guess. Let me see. I have to find where the calculator is. I always have trouble with that. Okay, here's my phone I'm going to use. And I'm going to go to calculator. There's my calculator. Now, what does it say? 39.76. 39.76 divided by 2.8. 2.8 equals 14.2. And here's the fraction, 14 and 1/5. Hope you can't see it. 14.2, 14 and 1/5. Okay. Simple enough using your calculator. Now I will give you a little demonstration on using the long division, how we use stuff to do it. So we want to divide 2.8 into 39.76. So I do a thing like this. I put 39.76 on the inside and the 2.8 on the outside. Now this lesson that we're going to be doing is about decimals. So when you're dividing by decimals, you move the decimal here one place. And if you move this decimal one place, you have to move this decimal one place. So I'm moving it here, which means the answer is going to have the decimal point right above that where the decimal point has been moved to. Right there. Okay, so I go 28 into 3. 28 doesn't go into 3. How about 28 into 39? Yeah, it goes one time. You can get 128 out of 39. 1 times 28 is 28. That's, of course, easy. And you subtract to see the difference, what's left over. There's 1, there's 11 left over, but you have to bring down the 7. Now you want to go 28 into 117. So you could say 2 into 11 goes 5 times. But if I put a 5 up here, I'm going to go 5 times 8 is 40. I'll put the 0 and carry 4. 5 times 2 is 10, and 4 is 14. It's going to be way too big. 5 was too big. I could try 4. 4 will be close. Let's try 4. I think that's going to work out. 4 times 8 is 32. Put down the 3, the 2, and carry the 3 in my head. 4 times 2 is 8, and 3 more, 9, 10, 11. Ooh, it made it. Very good. Subtract 5. Bring down the 6. 28 goes into 56 about 2 times. 2 times 8 is 16. Carry the 1. 2 times 2 is 4, and the 1 is 5. Exactly. Remainder 0. 14.2. Is that what we got before? I forget. Anyway, 14.2. But of course, you will be using calculators. Again, try these before you listen to my solution. See, did you get an answer for this one? Okay. I hope you tried it. Here I go. A painter needs to cover the walls of 4 rooms in 2 coats of paint. 2 coats of paint means he's going to paint the room, let it dry, and then paint another coat on top. He has to paint it twice. You do that because when you do the first coat, marks and things show through the paint. The paint is really not as thick as you think. Each room has 360 square feet of wall that must be painted. Each gallon of paint covers 36 square feet. How many gallons of paint does he need? Now, they picked these numbers so they would be nice and easy, okay, to use. But you're going to see their numbers are not very realistic. Okay, so it says he paints 4 rooms. Let's think of one room And when we get an answer, we're going to multiply it by 4, right? Okay, one room. So it has 360 square feet of wall space. That means like maybe the room is, let's say the room is 16 feet by 5 feet. Let's say the wall's like this. Okay, that's going to give us 80. I wanted to get to 90. I can get to 90. Yeah, well. Anyway, if the wall's like that, the square feet is you multiply the length times the height. Well, this doesn't look like 5 by 16. The 5's here and the 16's there. That's what it looks like. Anyway, you multiply to get the square footage, have the length and the height of the wall, and then you count all your walls. It says each room has 360 square feet, and a gallon of paint only covers 36 square feet. How many gallons of paint do you need to cover the walls of the room? Well, each gallon of paint is 36, and you're going to buy a number of those. So let's say it's Y. That's how many you buy. Y times 36 is equal to 360. How many do you have to buy? You're going to multiply each by you're going to multiply it by 36 to get the total coverage. So, what times 36 is 360? Do you know that? What do you multiply by 36 that just adds a 0 to it? Well, it's the same as dividing 360 divided by 36. If you put it in your calculator, what is that? 10. So you need 10 gallons because 10 times 36 is 360. You need 10 gallons to paint the room one time, but you have to give it 2 coats. So it's not going to be 10 gallons. To paint one room, it's going to be 20 gallons because you want to give it 2 coats, right? And now there's 4 rooms. So you go 20 times 4. What's 20 times 4? 80. 80 gallons of paint. Now, does that make sense, by the way? No. You try to paint a room with like 2 gallons of paint, not 80. What's wrong about which doesn't make sense about this problem? Well, they said a gallon of paint covers 36 square feet. That means 6 by 6. 6 feet by 6 feet. That's not very big, is it? It's just a little part of a wall. How could a whole gallon of paint only cover a little part of a wall? That doesn't make sense. That's why the answer comes out to be you need 80 gallons of paint. Because if a gallon of paint only covered 6 by 6, 36 square feet, yeah, you'd have to buy tons of paint. And paint's expensive, at least $20 a gallon. So you're already talking about $1,600 just to get the paint for your wall. Okay, anyway, moving on. Solve. Again, you would do this with your calculator. Practice using your calculator. Make sure you can solve simple problems with your calculator, okay? This is how you would do it in the old days. 5 take away 7. You can't do it. The 7's bigger than the 5. So I have to borrow. But it's a 0. You can't borrow from a 0. So I'm going to borrow from the 20. If I borrow 1 from the 20, one of the 10s from the 20, there'll be 19 left. And I take that 10 that I borrow and I add it to 5, I get 15. 15 take away 7. 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8. 9 take away 6, 3. 1 take away nothing, 1. 138. Do you have to know how to do this? No. Just make sure you know how to use your calculator. Last one. Round 0.66667 to the nearest thousandth. Okay, you have to know where the thousandth place is. With a decimal, this is the tenths. 6/10. This is the hundredths. Tenths, not tens, tenths. Hundredths. And The next one here is the thousandths. Thousandth, that's the one we want. Thousandths. We want this number. Now, it's a 6 now. Are we going to round up or down? Well, the next number is a 6 also. So we have to round up because 6 is bigger than 5. It's bigger than the middle. It's closer to the top. So that 6 is going to change. The answer is going to be 0.66. But this one, if we round it, is going to go up to 7. And this is the thousandths place. We could say 667 thousandths, or 0.667. Okay. Okay, where are we? 10 minutes gone already. Okay, decimal operations. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this because, like I said, you're going to be using a calculator. All you need to know, and you don't even need to know this, is when you're doing adding or subtraction, the decimal places stay together. You line up the decimal places. When you're doing multiplication or division, you don't have to line up the decimal places. You line them up with the wall over here. They go against the wall, and that's how you do it. You don't have to line up the hundreds with the hundreds or the ones with the ones. You don't have to do it that way. Now, when you do multiply, after you get the answer, you count how many numbers are to the right of the decimal point. 1, 2, 3. So then you move the decimal point 1, 2, 3 and put it there. Of course, you won't have to do it because there's a calculator. The calculator will take care of that for you. Okay? You want to check one with the calculator? Okay, let's see if they did it right. Make sure we can see the calculator here. Okay. Here's our calculator. It's back. 2.6. So let me clear it. 2.6 times. By the way, when you're multiplying, you can start with the 2.6 or you can start with the 0.45. Multiplying and adding, it doesn't matter what you start with first. But subtraction and division, it's important that you start with the right one. 0.45 equals 1.17. Now notice they have 1.170. These numbers are equivalent. This says 1700ths. This says 170 thousandths. But they're equivalent numbers. Okay. Anyway, subtracting and dividing and all that stuff, you don't need to know it. Now, you want to practice. You can practice using your calculator and checking your answers in the back. Make sure you know exactly how to use your calculator or a calculator because that's what you're going to be using on the test. Let's move on to the word problems. Again, always pause me and try the word problems on your own before I go over them. Okay, here we go. James ran 3 miles. His times for the individual miles were 7.2 minutes, 6.8 minutes, and 8.25 minutes. How long did it take him in minutes to run the 3-mile distance? So he ran 3 miles. That was his first mile, his second mile, and his third mile. How do you find out how many altogether did it take him to run the 3 miles? What do? You add. So you're going to add. Let me clear my thing again. Clear. So I'm going to add 3. Well, not 3. That's how many miles he went. Whoops. Okay, it's times. We want to do the times. 7.2 minutes. 7.2 minutes. Plus. Where's plus? Down there. Plus 6.8. 6.8 plus 8.25. 8.25. Okay. 22.25. Do you see the answer there? Right there, 22.25 minutes. How about 26? Let me clear this in case I have to use it again. Claudia earns overtime pay when she works more than 40 hours in 1 week. How many hours of overtime pay did she work for the week of March 4th? When she works more than 40 in a week. So what do we have to do to find out if she made overtime hours? We have to add it all up, right? And then we want how many hours are overtime. The overtime are only the hours above 40. So when we get our answer, if she worked above 40, we have to subtract the 40 to see how many hours were overtime. Got it? Now I know this answer is going to be wrong. And this one's going to be wrong because they didn't subtract the 40. You got to subtract 40 when you're done because it's only the hours over 40 that's overtime. Okay, here we go. We're going to add these. The alts we don't have to add. Here we go. You ready? Can you see that? Okay, let's go. 8.5. 8.5 plus 9.25. 9.25 plus 8.75. 8.75 plus 10. 7.75. 7.75. And that's it. Equals 44.25. There it is. Wait. What was the question? How many hours of overtime pay did she work? We don't want to know the total. We want to know overtime. So we're going to have to subtract 40, right? Because you only want the hours that she worked past 40. That's overtime. Well, you can just look and say, if I take the 40 away, what's going to be left? 4.25. And there it is, C. That's how many hours overtime she worked. 4.25. Did you see where I found it? I almost picked 44.25, but I forgot I had to subtract the 40 at the end. Okay. Number 27. A plumber cut 2 lengths of pipe measuring 2.8 and 1.4 meters from a 6-meter length. Assuming there was no waste, what is the length of meters of the remaining piece? So first, what do you have to do? What do you think? Did you do it? Well, let's look. Assuming what is the length of the remaining piece? So first we want to add these together, right? That's how much they cost. 2.8, there it is, see it? 2.8 and 1.4, I'm going to add them together. You can do it on your calculator. If you do it on your calculator, you should get what? 4.2. If you carry the 1, you get 4.2. There it is, but we're not done. That's how long of the pipe she used. They want to know the remaining piece. So we're going to subtract this from the total, which is 6. There's 6 meters. We're going to subtract 4.2. Okay. 0 take away 2. Can't do it. Borrow from the 6 becomes a 5. This becomes a 10. 10 take away 2. 8. 5 take away 4. 1. 1.8. That's what I got. Is that correct? I think it is. 1.8. Okay. Mona purchased the following art supplies: a storage box for $16.98, a set of art markers for $31.78, and a pad of paper for $6.50. What was the cost of the 3 items? What do we got to do, guys? We have to add, don't we? Okay. Let me do an estimate. Let me see if I can do this by estimating, okay? Look, the answers aren't too close together, except those two are kind of close. These are a little close. Let me just add and forget the cents. I'm just going to add the dollars. 16 and 31 is $47. And 6 more, 47 and 6 is like 7 and 6 is 13. 47 and 6 is 53. Now they also have cents. That's almost another dollar. That's 54. And this is over $1.55 something. It's going to add up to about 55 something. Do you see it? Yeah, right there. 55.26. Now let me try adding with the calculator to see if it comes out the same. Oh man, I don't even know if you saw that one. Did you see when I was doing that one? I don't know if you saw how I was doing it. What I did, boys and girls, what I did, class, I think I'm teaching second grade sometimes. I just estimated. This is about $17. This is about 32. 17 and 32 is 49. And this is 6. 49 and 6 is 55. It's got to be around that one. Okay, that was estimating. But I could put the numbers in just as easy. $16.98 plus $31.78 plus $6.50. $6.50 equals $55.26. Did you get that? Oh, good. I'm dozing off here. I do that in class all the time. Okay, should we go on? I think we can go on because we can finish up here, right? Is this all we got left? I think this is all we got left. Yeah, one more page. Here we go. Okay, so again, I am not going to work these with you. You can work them on practice if you think you need the practice. If you don't waste your time. Remember, you want to maximize your learning. So if you already know how to do it well, don't even bother trying, okay? Just go on and do the other stuff that you don't know, okay? Number 22, 1 container of floor cleaner holds 3.79 liters. If Zachary bought 4 containers, how many liters of cleaner did he buy? You can use your calculator. What kind of problem is this? If you know how much 1 costs and you want to know how much 4 costs, what are you going to do? You're going to multiply. Now, you could add it 4 times. You could put 3.79 plus 3.79 plus 3.79 plus 3.79. But that's the same as multiply. So we're going to multiply 3.79 times 4 equals 15.16. There it is. Okay, 1 container of floor cleaner holds 3.79 liters. If you bought 4 containers, how many? Yep, it's just 4 times that. Okay, number 23. I don't know if you saw my calculator good enough. Okay, number 23. Ribbon costs 45 cents per foot. A sewing project calls for 20.5 feet of ribbon. To the nearest cent, what will the cost of the ribbon be for the project? Okay, so each foot costs 45 cents of the ribbon. He wants to buy 20.5 feet of ribbon. How do you get the answer? Well, it's 20 times you want to get 45. Each of those 20 feet costs 45 cents. So you could add 45 cents 20 times, or you could just multiply again. You're going to multiply 45 cents times 20.5. Let's see if we can see it this time. You ready? Okay, 45 cents times 20.5 feet equals, it says 922.5. Now, did I do something wrong? I think I did something wrong. Okay, because to the nearest cent might be that. Okay, let's see if I forgot to put a decimal point. Do it again. Here I go. 45, I want 0.45. Did I not put the point? I think I put 45. You can do it that way, but then you have to change your cents to dollars. Okay, 0.45, it's really $0.45. I said 45 cents. Same thing. Times 20.5 equals, boy, I didn't put times, did I? Didn't hit it. 45 cents times 20.5 equals $9.22.5. This would round up to $9.23. Which one is it? Right there, B, $9.23. Number 24, Armando drove 278.7 miles over a 3-day period. On average, how many miles did he drive each day? So on average, it means how much did he drive each day if he drove the same amount, and after 3 days it added up to 278.7. So some number plus the same number plus the same number adds up to 278.7. What kind of problem is that? Do you know? Well, you want to divide this number into 3 equal parts. So it's a division problem. You want to divide 278.7. You want to divide it by 3 into 3 equal parts, and that'll tell you how much he drove each day. Okay, clear it. 278.7 divided by 3 equals 92.9. There it is, 92.9 miles each day. And that makes sense. It's a little less than 100. In 3 days, they'll go a little less than 300. And there it is. That's a little less than 300. Okay, on these last two, we're going to use the chart. Here's our cereals. Here's the weight of the cereal in the box. And this is how many servings you get from each box. Okay? A box of toasted oats, so we're only working with the toasted oats one, is priced at $4.94. What is the cost per serving? Okay, so we know it costs $4.94. Now, if that was one serving, then the serving is $4.94, right? But if you can get 2 or 3 or 4 servings out of that box, that it's going to lower the cost of how much each serving is. So what is the cost per serving? Well, you look at the cost, you look at how many servings. It's got 19 servings in it, and altogether it costs $4.94. How would you find out how much one serving costs? You want to divide that price into 19 equal parts, and that'll give you the price of each part. So you're going to divide $4.94 divided by 19. Okay, let's try that. Again, we're using the numbers from the toasted oats. Did we need the weight? No, we didn't need the weight. We only needed how many servings and the price. They gave us the price. Here we go. Oh, I lost my calculator. Come on, baby. Okay, clear it out. We got 4.94. Can you see it? Nope. Here. 4.94 divided by, what did we say? 19 servings. 1, 9 equals 0.26, 26 cents, and there it is, 26 cents per serving. That makes sense. If it was 20 servings, you'd get $2.60 for 10, $5.20. Yep, that's a little bit bigger than $4.94. Anyway, that makes sense. Each serving is about a quarter. Lee bought 4 boxes of Honey Mix cereal. How many ounces of cereal did he buy? Or did she buy? Lee can be a boy's name or a girl's name. Here it's a girl. Okay, so she bought Honey Mix. There's Honey Mix. How many ounces of cereal? Well, each box is 12.5 ounces, and we want 4. Now, we could do 12.5 plus 12.5 plus 12.5 plus 12.5. We could add them all up. Or we could just do 12.5 times 4. 4 boxes. Here we go. Well, let me clear it. Clear. Okay, 12.5 times 4 equals 50. 50. There it is, B, 50 ounces. How do they get these other numbers? I think some of these numbers, they took the other cereal, right? But it told you, yep, I think this one is probably crispy rice. And this one here is probably toasted oats. But we wanted honey mix, so you had to bring this one, 12.5 times 4, 50 ounces altogether. Okay, that's it. Okay, work on those. Make sure you can use your calculator well. Practice it if you have to. Okay, you want to be able to use your calculator very proficiently without any mistakes. Okay, so that is our entire day 6 lesson. We'll be back with day 7.